Hello everyone, my name is Susan. Today I'm going to show you how to cut into a fiber optic cable to get down to the actual fibers. Here is a sample piece that I cut off. It has the outer sheath, then it has the inner sheath, and then you cut in to get to the other layers. To start, you want to remove the outer sheath. This tool here helps you to cut around that, but you have to be very careful as to how much pressure that you put on so you don't go through the other layers and risk damaging the fibers. So you want to cut a ring all the way around, and as you go you want to put a little bit more pressure until you get through the outer sheath. You can kind of bend it and you'll hear it crack to separate itself. And then you pull it right on off. This is how thick it is to see what you're cutting through and how much protection it has. The next layer is called the inner sheath. It's a little bit thinner, and to get through this you'll use a Paladin stripper. It has a blade on the inside right through here, so you'll place the cable right into there and let it clamp down on it, and then you just make a ring all the way around. The blade is adjustable, so that way you can adjust how thick you're going through so you don't risk going through the next layers and damaging your fibers. So you go around a few times and then again you bend it a little bit. You don't want to bend it too much, because a fiber optic cable, if you bend it more than 90 degrees, then you risk damaging it. A fiber cable is glass, so they're very, very fragile. So sometimes you might have to do this a couple of times to make sure that you're getting through there without damaging and going too far. There we go. Okay, and then you would pull off the inner sheath. There we are. And then you'll pull back all the little cotton and strings that kind of hold it together. It helps to keep it proportionate. So the next layer are the buffer tubes. In this particular fiber cable there are 4 buffer tubes, and then there is a filler that also is just there to hold the shape and keep the fibers all together. Each buffer tube, depending on what kind of cable you have, this one has 4 buffer tubes, and in each buffer tube there are 4 fibers. So the next step is to cut into these buffer tubes. This is a buffer tube cutter. It has a blade on it to where you can use the screw to push the blade up or down so that you can determine the depth of how far you're going. So that way, you don't damage the fiber optics. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these buffer tubes, and you would put it right into here and go around. It's the same concept as the rest of the cable. It just gets smaller and smaller as you go. You're going to bend it a little bit, makes a little popping, and you slide it right on off. Inside is the fiber optics, and it has this gel on it that we call Icky Pick. It kind of holds it all together. You want to remove it to be able to separate all the fibers. So I use alcohol and little wipes to be able to do so. And it makes it a little bit easier to separate the fibers. And they're all color coordinated, so that way you're able to splice them to the right ones and coordinate what you're doing. But that's how small one little fiber is. And then you can also remove that color coding too before actually splicing. And that's how you do it. That's how you get to a fiber optic cable. Thank you for watching.